A restaurant chain is paying out to a former employee over claims of religious discrimination. A Charlotte IHop will have to pay $40,000 to a Christian cook who was fired after requesting Sundays off. The Woodlawn Road store hired the employee in 2021 and was granted religious accommodations to not work on Sundays. Well, the new general manager later required the employee to work on 2 Sundays in April and May of 2021. But the cook told the manager he does not work on Sundays because of his religious beliefs, and he was fired. EEOC filed the lawsuit 2 years later. U.S. District Court judge ordered the IHop to pay $40,000 and to hold annual training for managers. The IHop has 15 days to pay the settlement. We want to go ahead and bring in our chief legal analyst here, Kali Froze, here for a little bit more insight on this type of incident. You've dealt with a lot of these type of lawsuits and claims like this. Tell us how these types of things work.
These are kind of like a choose your own adventure, right? So when a person comes to my office and they're saying, look, I believe that I've been discriminated, and I'd say, well, what do you think the discrimination is based on? Oftentimes it's race, sometimes it's sex, and in this case it's religion. And so then I'd say, well, have you all exhausted the administrative remedies? Have you done everything within your job's requirement? Have you talked to a supervisor? Have you talked to that supervisor? Have you filed an initial complaint? Typically, they have done that. So then the next step is you go to the EEOC and you give them all of the information that you have. You allow them to work their process. And then the EEOC will give you 2 different roads. It will say, hey, we believe you have some information that's a claim, and now you can go file it yourself. Or we believe you have information that shows there's a claim, and we'll go file it for you. In this case, they went and filed it for them. Typically, when they go and file those claims, they don't do that all the time. There's the stronger type of cases. They're likely to win plus 90+% win rate. And so they'll go through, they'll have a conversation with their employer. They'll try to mediate that situation. And if they can't come to a resolution, they'll take it to court. And that's exactly what happened here.
One of the things that stuck out too is that there was new management that came in. A lot of times the companies will say, there's new management, you can do whatever we want here on this, but they couldn't on this case.
You can't do whatever you want when it comes to Title VII. I mean, these are federal protections. And so if the federal government says you can't do it, you can't just decide because I want to, tell you can't work or have to work on Sundays. Now I can supersede the federal government requirements. Specifically, it wasn't just that he made him work. It was the other comments. Within the complaint, it said that the employer, the new general manager said, listen, he just doesn't want to pay his bills. He just is a lazy guy, doesn't want to come to work. I think they looked at all of those things, not just forcing him to come to work, but just that entire atmosphere. That's why when you look at this settlement, the cash payment, $40,000, you're talking about how do we stop this from happening going forward, training for employees, posting the settlement. So now you educate the current employees that, look, if this is happening to you, you can contact us because now we can take your claim as well. So when they have these settlements, it's not just the dollar amount, it's ensuring that this type of thing stops because the EEOC doesn't want this happening.
And the IHop's going to want to make this resolve this as quickly as possible.
They only got 15 days. They got to hurry up and pay. I mean, right now you can either appeal or you can, it's it. I mean, so it's time to pay and then move on and ensure that you follow what the law requires. In this situation, not forcing somebody to come to work when they've already been granted that time off. And even if they would have denied it, he still would have had a claim because if his denial was based on a religion, even if it was not a religion that they believed in, the claim is still there.
Don't want any more bad PR out of this.
Not at all. Just pancakes.
Chief Legal. That's right. Get some good flapjacks out of that.